As you know, we often highlight the verbal and physical stumbles of US President Joe Biden on this program. It is a worry, of course, but it's not a slight against people in their 80s and older. Many people Joe Biden's age and beyond are as sharp as a tack. I mean, just look at John Howard every time we interview him, for instance. Anyway, that's why I wanted you to meet Frank Sebastyan. He'll turn 81 later this year, the same age Joe Biden is now. Now, I've known Frank for 40 years. And in his 80s, he's hard to keep up with. Tennis, the gym, writing articles, fronting a band and male modelling. No kidding. And his latest exploit? A tour of Tasmania on his Harley Davidson. Frank Sebastyan is the leader of the pack for octogenarians. When he's not riding his Harley, he's always busy, leading a life people half his age would struggle to emulate.
I started 25 years ago going to the gym, and I visit there 3 days a week and do a lot of different routines on there, particularly mainly weights. I love lifting the bench press. In addition to that, I play tennis 3 days a week, as I say, do a lot of walking, generally eat well. I can't say I never eat rubbish, but I generally eat good food and have an occasional drink. So I try to stay fit and healthy.
His latest exploit was a motorcycle tour of Tasmania with a couple of younger mates.
Tasmania is a wonderful place to see. It's surprising how many Australians haven't been there yet. And all I can do is encourage people to go down there. It's a great place to see.
Look, as you would know, there are plenty of people who are 80 years of age who find it a challenge just to walk up to the shops. But you're motoring around on this great big thumping Harley. Do you see those sorts of efforts as being adventurous for someone your age?
I don't, not really. People tell, honestly, I don't, because I'm just doing what I normally do. And then people like you're telling me, oh, this is fantastic. Well, I suppose it is when most people don't do things like this. But I just enjoy the fitness and the exercise part of it. We climbed in Tasmania, we climbed a couple of high mountains. And I stayed with younger people going up and coming down, which people were a bit gobsmacked about that. So, yeah, I'm just doing what I normally do.
Love is in the air. Every sight and every sound.
Doing what he normally does, for Frank, means fronting a band when he can. He's been a singer around Adelaide since the 1960s and still belts out a tune like he did a couple of months back for this charity event.
It's there when I look in your eyes. Love is in the air.
And I opened the floor show at 80 years of age, which I am pretty proud about because, you know, most vocalists or entertainers are winding down. Well, I suppose I am too, but I was thrilled to get this gig.
Yeah, you nailed it too in your pink suit and the like. And that reminds me, of course, that you're still doing male modelling at 80 years of age.
Indeed. Yeah, I love that. That's another thing that came naturally to me because of my 55 years of experience performing in a rock band, I was very comfortable being on stage. Therefore, when the opportunity came up and Tanya Powell gave me a gig, I mean, I just fell into that like a duck to water. It was easy to do, and she loved what I did, and I loved her for giving me the opportunity, and I'm still modelling now. I am noted as the world's oldest working male model. Now, this came about after a story in the Advertiser where they went on Google and they looked at the Guinness Book of Records and they found that there were plenty of women still working at 80 or 75 at that time, but not many men. And that's where the title came.
And it's not all physical for Frank. When he's not active on social media, he's writing columns for the Adelaide Advertiser. Whether it's mind or body, Frank subscribes to the age-old dictum, use it or lose it.
Well, I do actually. I think if you sit around after retirement and you just watch TV and do nothing much else, you're going to just dissolve into nothing in the end. And I think if you keep physically and mentally tuned, you've got a better chance of living a long and healthy life. And that's been my goal with all of this all along. I mean, I thought I'd be dead at 50, actually. I never thought I'd live this long. But I love my life. I love the things that I do. We've got 6 grandkids and a family that is wonderful. And life is great for me, and I love being a part of what I'm doing.
It's fantastic to see, Frank, and you would be well aware, though, that you're a very similar age to the US President Joe Biden. He's less than a year older than you. What advice would you give Joe Biden, who seems to be pretty frail and, to be honest, not as cogent as you?
Well, to be perfectly blunt, I'd like to see him and the other fellow, what's his name, Trump? I'd like to see them both pull out, because I think surely in America, with the population they've got, there must be younger people there in the mould of, say, JF Kennedy to take the baton on. I mean, clearly Biden just doesn't cut it, in my view, and the other one leaves a lot of questions to be answered as well. So that's just my opinion. I don't think age should be the barrier to make him go, but clearly Biden isn't up to it, which makes me wonder why the Democrats keep him on, quite frankly, because I think he's brought the Oval Office into some level of disrepute by remaining there and can't remember his kids' names and can't climb stairs and, you know, a host of other things which just show that he's not up to it. But anyway, that's their problem, not ours.
Maybe he should have been put on the Frank Sebastyan program about 20 years ago.
Yeah, well, maybe he should have. Buy him a Harley. I know he's got a flash car, a sports car or something, but, you know, maybe the motorbike would have been a good trick for him.
I've seen him fall off a push bike, so I wouldn't be buying him a Harley.
Whoa!
So, Frank, given how busy you are, have you thought about slowing down? How long do you think you'll be able to keep up this super active lifestyle?
I have no intention of slowing down. I have friends, many of them, who have said to me, "Oh, Frank, you shouldn't be riding the motorbike anymore. You're too old, it's dangerous," and things of that nature. Well, I know in myself when I won't be able to do it any longer, and I'll give it away. I'll sell the bike and retire, hopefully. But while I'm well and able to do it, I'm not going to stop doing it either. And I think that should be the attitude of everybody.
Frank, thanks so much for talking to us. All the best to you, Christine, and the family.
Chris, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and cheers for now, and go the power.
Such a good bloke, and he goes and ruins it all with that plug for the Port Adelaide footy team. Hey, you can't have it all. Go the Adelaide Crows, of course. Now, Frank's latest plan is he wants to take that Harley, or hire a Harley at least, and go for a decent ride around the US. We'll see if he gets up to that. Good luck to him.